What's up, everybody? Whatever part of the day you are in, I hope it is going absolutely well. Today on The Creative, we are editing together. That and more on The Creative. So today I thought I'd just show you the process that I go through in order to edit the pictures that I get. Yeah, not that I get. That's the word I'm looking for. Edit the pictures. Wow, I can't speak today. I just want to be able to show you how I edit my pictures. Yeah, it's just that simple. So yeah, we're gonna jump into that today and gonna chat a little bit. I'll show you some of the things that I do, and hopefully this is beneficial to you. I'm excited. Here we go. We are here. This is my desktop here, and we are going to Lightroom Classic. Some people do use the more modern one. Yeah. However, I just like the Lightroom Classic. Yeah. Not hard to please. Yeah, that's my son. I'm putting together a little montage of when he came home, which was 2 weeks. Where is he? There we go. That's 2 weeks versus what he is right now, 11 months. I only have 10 months. I still have to take his 11th month picture. However, I had the opportunity, like you guys saw, to do a photo shoot of Denjoy, and many of you have seen those pictures already. If you have not followed my Instagram, my photography Instagram page, go ahead and do so. It is optical.opium on Instagram, and you can go ahead and check that out. And since I'm advertising things at this point, go ahead and hit subscribe as well if you find this valuable. If you like what you are seeing, go ahead and like this video in particular, and share it with some friends. So without further ado, I am going to get started with editing while doing this video. This is the first time for me. I would like to do this in 5 to 7 minutes. We'll see. So yeah, just give me a second. Let me find the picture that I'm going to edit for you guys here, and yeah, we'll move from there. There's still a bunch of pictures from that photo shoot that I have not edited as yet, and I don't know if Denjoy is watching. If she is, I'm sorry, Denjoy. I failed you. Yes, I think so. Yep, there it is. I'm gonna bring that over to Denjoy. I really need to clean up all these pictures. I don't need all of this, but yeah, I'm doing that slowly but surely. So yeah, and these are all of the pictures. Not all the pictures, because some things I deleted that I didn't want anymore, or that were doubles. And we're just gonna go through these really quickly, at least the ones that have not been edited as yet, and we are going to start an edit on it from start to finish, and I will show you what I do in order to edit a picture. Okay, cool. So I think I have an idea of the picture that I would like to edit. First of all, I just want to show you this. Sorry, last thing, I promise. I'm really proud of this picture in particular. It just turned out really well, and yeah, I like it. Either way, I think I'm going to edit one of these pictures here. Yeah. Yeah. So what I do is, when I am editing a picture, I'll usually have a baseline from where I start. So this picture, let's put this side by side if I can. Oh, because I have not started my hard drive up just yet. Just give me a second. you won't see this part. So this is something that I am trying. This is something new that I'm trying, I should say. Let me know if you like it down in the comments, me editing, showing you how I do things, and let me know as well if you want to see me edit my videos in particular, other than just my pictures, if that's something you're interested in. There's a few things I can think of, maybe even how I do my thumbnails, whatever it is. Let me know what you would like to see me edit. But yeah, we'll get back to this. Yeah, so I forgot to get my hard drive plugged in so it can recognize what is happening, at least so the file is actually tethered onto my hard drive. So that's why I was saying that it's unsupported or is damaged. So we should be good now. Let's see. Yeah, we're good. All right, so on the left is the picture that I edited, and on the right is the picture that is unedited. As I look at this now, I think it's a little bit too blue. I do like the yellow, the warmness in this picture in particular, but just to start and for them to be somewhat similar in terms of style of editing, I am going to select out of this. I'm going to go to that picture that's already edited, and I am going to copy the attributes. So I'm going to check all. Right now I'm going to take off the local adjustments because those have to do with if I did anything to remove any blemishes or anything on this particular picture, and it won't match with the next one. But everything else I think is pretty straightforward. Usually I'll take off crop and straighten angle, crop in general. However, I'm going to keep it on just to see what it does. So I'm going to copy that, and I am going to go to the picture. Yes, this picture. I love this picture. And I'm going to paste. It's okay. I don't necessarily like it, so we are going to start from scratch on this one. So if I'm starting from scratch, this is what I am doing. So I am gonna go first thing to the tone curve, and I'm gonna deal with the RGB, the red, green, and blue. If you didn't know, now you know. And we are going to do a very slight S-curve. Now, if I'm pulling this down, that this thing looks like a bowl, then you're doing it wrong. You're definitely doing it wrong. So ever so slightly, I just pull it down just a bit, just to kind of even out the colors here, or bring them up, depending on what I'm feeling like. It's called the S-curve because if you can see here, and let's see if I can use one of the tools. Yes, can I use one of the tools? Oh no, I cannot use one of the tools right now. I don't know what's happening. I was trying to be fancy, but I'll figure out how to use the tools to show you how things work. But here, you see my cursor. It's kind of shaped like an S. If I was to make it like really look like an S sideways, it'd be like this, but that doesn't look nice at all. And if you will just give me a second, my wife is calling me. So yes, I have my S-curve here on my blues, but usually I start with the reds, but it doesn't really matter. Just pull that down just a little bit. And I'm gonna pull this up over here as well. Do the same thing with this. How much purple I want in it. And this here. So you kind of see that if I'm bringing it up, I'm bringing more greens into it. If I'm bringing it down, I'm bringing more purples into it as well. So it really doesn't look any different slightly different, maybe a little bit more yellow in this one than the last one. So that's the before, this is the after. So we can see it's changing ever so slightly. If I wanted to make sure that it's not too yellow like we're seeing here, then I would go ahead and probably Actually, I'll show that to you just a little later. But right now, yeah, this is what we have. This is what we're starting with, and we will move from there. So the thing is, I love the yellow in the background, but I don't like the yellow that it's casting onto her face here and onto her leg. So what I am going to do is I'm going to isolate her from the rest of the background and fix that just a little bit. I'm gonna do that in just a second, but what I want to do here is I am going to straighten this picture out first. I think that's pretty good. I'm just going off my eye at this point. I like it. That's decent. If I'm doing this for Instagram, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna do one by one, bring it down there, and I'd have to fix that if I want to get her legs in there. That's how it would look. But just for the sake of this tutorial, so to speak, I'm just gonna go back to the original. Kind of like it full portrait, kind of gives it a better feel. And yeah, this is what we're working with. Okay, so now to isolate the picture, or I should say the subject, from the background and work on that yellowness that I'm seeing in her face and in her legs, I'm going to use the radio filter that you'll find right up here in your little tool bar here, and I'm going to take that and the red is the areas that is being affected, and where you don't see as much red is where it's not being affected. So I want to make it big enough. Maybe if I play around with the feathering of it, will give me a little bit more. See, that would be too drastic. So I just want to bring it in on the edges. So I have her leg here and her face, and these are the most important parts that I want to make sure the yellow is out of. So I'm okay with that. See how that works. Honestly, editing is a lot of trial and error. So yeah, so I have that there. Wait, what's happening? Did I do it? Yes, I did. So yeah, there it is. I have my radio filter here. Just for the sake of me seeing what I'm doing, I'm gonna toggle off, which it shows down here, show selected mask overlay. If I toggle it on, it's red. If I toggle it off, I can see everything as is. So the goal is to get a little bit of the yellow out of her face. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna lower the temperature just a little bit. And as you can see, I realize that I'm lowering the temperature on the background and not her. So I don't want to do that. I actually want to do it on the inside here and not on the outside. So what I can do is invert. And when I invert, it'll show you here that now I'm affecting the inside of the circle and not the outskirts of the oval, not circle, forgive me. I do know my shapes. So here it is, and here we go. So we are going to lower the temperature, so we're dipping down into the blues a little bit, and already I like that. It's taken the yellow more out of her face and also out of this leg here. So just to show you what it looked like before, slight differences in my opinion. I like it just a little bit more. Her dress is a little whiter because I lowered the temperature. It's not as yellow. The leg is not as yellow. Face is not as yellow because the sun is picking it up. Her face is picking up the sun. Obviously, we're shooting at golden hour. So yeah, I am comfortable with this right now. So yeah, this is what I have right now, and now I'm just going to play around with these toggles right now. The exposure I am perfectly fine with. Something that I found out, if I want to see if I'm overexposed, I click on this toggle, the exposure, and I click Alt on my keyboard. And if I was to see all of that, that would mean I'm really overexposed. And just to show you what it looks like, I'm letting go of Alt, and see, that's that's terrible. But just holding onto the tab here and pressing Alt, it's black, which means I'm not overexposed. So it came pretty good out of the camera. I'm not overly exposed or anything. I'm not gonna touch that at all. I do think that maybe this could be a little bit lighter. It could be a little bit lighter, so I might play with the shadows, see what I can do here. Just raise them up just a bit to give it a little bit more light. Or, you know, I could play with the exposure, but it'd make it too white. So I don't like that. So I'm gonna go with the shadows here. The whites are pretty good in my eyes. I don't want to make them any darker. I don't want to really make them any whiter for real. Maybe just a little bit, actually. I don't know if that really makes much of a difference, but you can see the before, you can see the after. The picture's starting to come to light a little bit. You still have that yellow in the background. I like it. Also, what I like to do is mess with the textures as well. If you look in the background and you look at the texture, you can see that it accentuates things a lot more, but it also is going to accentuate her a lot more as well. And that's not what we want. Yeah, so we're gonna leave it like that. I'm not gonna mess with that. I can show you that another time, how to make it pop, but you kind of already saw it. So yeah, that's, I try to do as minimal edits as possible. If anything, I'll bring up the clarity a little bit more, just to make it pop a little bit more. I'll mess with the contrast a little bit more, just for it to stand out. And because when I'm messing with the contrast and the clarity, sometimes it can saturate the picture a little bit more, I'm just going to bring down my saturation just a little bit to make it look a little bit more realistic. That's -5. And, you know, then I'll probably do some touch-ups, you know, just to make sure everything's smooth. If there's any blemishes on her face or anything of that nature, I'll go ahead and cover those up. But I won't do all of that with you today. This is just kind of a basic thing of you know, what I do. I do go to lens correction. And I toggle these on just to see if there's anything that needs to be corrected. We can do color grading another time. That's a whole nother thing. But if I'm being honest, I am very comfortable with what I have done in this particular picture. Yeah, it's not as yellow, and it stands out a little bit more. There's a little bit more light. If anything, I probably mess with the shadows just a little bit more, softening them up, if anything. But overall, I like this picture. I think Denjo will like it as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. This was definitely fun doing. If this is something that you appreciated, go ahead and like this. If this is something that you want to keep up with, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, blow it up people's elbow it, and all of that great stuff. And if you want to get a notification of when the next episode comes out, go ahead and hit that bell as well, please do. Until the next one, go ahead and do something creative today. Peace.